The 1970s Jefferson nickel is one of the most intriguing and potentially valuable coins in the modern U.S. coinage series. Struck at the San Francisco Mint, this nickel features the S Mint mark on the obverse and can reach a market value of up to $24,000, depending on its condition, strike, and unique features. Introduced in 1938 to replace the Buffalo nickel, the Jefferson nickel was designed by Felix Schlag, featuring a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States. The reverse of the coin displays Jefferson's home Monticello, with the inscriptions E pluribus unum, Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America. The 1970s nickel is particularly known for its role in proof coinage, as San Francisco primarily struck proof coins during this period. However, there are special strike varieties and errors that have surfaced in the numismatic world, making this coin exceptionally desirable. For example, certain high-grade full steps FS, examples, where all steps on the Monticello are clearly visible are very rare and command a premium in auctions. Additionally, off-center strikes, double die, obverses or reverses, and planchet errors significantly increase the value. A high-quality 1970s Jefferson nickel with full steps can be valued in the thousands, with some coins fetching prices up to $24,000 in recent private sales and certified auctions. In terms of technical specifications, the 1970s nickel is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, weighing 5.00 grams with a 21.2 millimeters diameter. It has a smooth edge and was minted using proof dies that provided higher quality, mirror-like finishes. Despite being proof, some examples were improperly handled or released into circulation, creating a subset of proof-like or SMS special mint set nickels that are extremely scarce. Another important factor influencing the coin's value is grading. Coins graded PR69 DCAM Deep Cameo by top grading services like PCGS or NGCR among the most valuable. These coins feature sharp frosted devices with deeply mirrored fields. The strike quality, surface preservation, and I appeal all play crucial roles in determining the market price. A minor variation in quality from PR68 to PR69 can mean a difference of thousands of dollars in value. The historical context of the 1970s Jefferson nickel also adds depth to its collectability. The early 1970s was a transitional period in U.S. coinage history, marked by experimentation with new finishes, minting techniques, and the shift from traditional circulating strikes to collector-focused proof issues. This transition means many proof coins from this era, especially those with mint errors or high quality. Strikes are now key finds for Jefferson nickel collectors. Collectors today seek out the 1970s nickel not only for its rarity and high grade, but also for the opportunity to complete a full Jefferson nickel set, which spans from 1938 to the present. Finding a perfect full-step specimen from 1970s is a major achievement due to the difficulties involved in achieving sharp strikes on these proof dies. This rarity and desirability push auction prices even higher. In one case, a 1970s Jefferson nickel FSPR 69 DCAM sold for over $22,000 at a Heritage Auctions event, demonstrating the powerful draw these coins have in the market. Another aspect of the 1970s nickel that collectors pay close attention to is the die variety. Some examples exhibit RPM's repunched mint marks, which can be identified under magnification and certified by grading services. These minting anomalies create subcategories within the 1970s and are considered scarce collectibles in their own right. Combined with exceptional strike and grade, KNRPM variety can elevate a coin's worth considerably. While the general proof population of the 1970s Jefferson nickel is not low, millions were minted. It is the exceptional condition, error types, and strike clarity that makes specific coins stand out. In circulated condition, the value may remain modest. However, coins preserved in mint sets or those which exhibit deep cameo contrast and unbroken full steps can easily fetch thousands too. Tens of thousands of dollars in today's numismatic market. This dramatic difference in value is a powerful reminder of the importance of professional grading and authentication for rare coins. Additionally, the investment potential of the 1970s Jefferson nickel continues to rise, especially as fewer, high-quality examples surface, with many already in the hands of serious collectors or locked away in graded slabs. The supply of elite specimens is dwindling, which naturally pushes up the price. Coin dealers, investors, collectors alike keep a sharp eye on auction houses for any newly listed premium-grade 1970s nickels, particularly those certified with full steps designation. In conclusion, the 1970s Jefferson nickel represents a powerful combination of historical importance, minting precision, and collector demand. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a new enthusiast exploring rare U.S. coins, this particular nickel is a prime example of how a modern coin can achieve astonishing value. With a market worth of up to $24,000, it's a valuable addition to any serious collection, especially when found in deep cameo, full steps, or rare error varieties. Next up, the 1988 D Mint Mark Washington Quarter. Dollar is a fascinating coin that has quietly grown in collector interest over the years, with some rare examples reaching a market value of $4,000 in auctions and private sales. This coin, struck at the Denver Mint and bearing the distinctive D Mint mark, is part of the long-running Washington Quarter series that began in 1932 to commemorate the bicentennial of George Washington's birth. The obverse design features a left-facing bust of Washington, sculpted by John Flanagan, while the reverse carries the familiar heraldic eagle with outstretched wings, perched on a bundle of arrows and surrounded by olive branches. Though the design remained consistent from 1932 until 1998, what makes the 1988 D Quarter particularly special lies in the specific conditions, minting anomalies, and high-grade preservation of some specimens. In terms of mintage, the Denver Mint produced a total of 596,810,688 Washington Quarters in 1988. With such a high production figure, the 1988 D Quarter might initially seem too common to be valuable. However, this is where the story becomes intriguing. While millions were minted, the vast majority were heavily circulated and show signs of wear and tear. Only a very small number have survived in mint state MS67 and above, and even fewer with unique errors or high-quality strike characteristics, which are now commanding significant premiums among collectors and investors. The coin is composed of copper nickel clad with a core of pure copper and an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel. Its diameter is 24.26 millimeters, and it weighs 5.67 grams. These physical attributes are standard for all clad Washington Quarters minted between 1965 and 1998. However, the real allure of the 1988 D Quarter comes from three major factors: condition rarity in high mint states, known minting errors and use, its emerging recognition in the collector market. One of the most significant drivers behind the high market value of certain 1988 D Quarters is grade rarity. Professional grading services like PCG's Professional Coin Grading Service and NGC Numismatic Guarantee Company have only certified a small handful of 1988 D Quarters at MS67 or higher. And these are the coins that have fetched upwards of $4,000. At auctions, in lower grades such as MS63 or MS64, the coin may be worth only a few dollars. But once it crosses the elusive threshold of MS67 or better, the price rises exponentially due to the extreme scarcity of such well-preserved specimens. Collectors who focus on registry sets where the goal is to assemble the highest graded example of each coin in a series are particularly aggressive in bidding on these top-tier pieces. It's often driving prices into the thousands, in addition to condition rarity. The 1988 D Quarter is also notable for several types of mint errors that significantly enhance its value. Some of the most valuable variants include double die obverses, DDO, off-center strikes, clipped planchettes, and broad-struck errors. A double die obverse, for example, can show clear doubling in the lettering or in Washington's facial features, which is easily visible to the naked eye. These errors, when authenticated and graded by PCGS or NGC, can add hundreds or even thousands of dollars to a coin's value, depending on the severity and clarity of the error. Off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing due to improper alignment during minting, are also highly sought after, especially if they occur on uncirculated coins with the date and mint mark still fully visible. Collectors and investors are increasingly viewing coins like the 1988 D quarter as hidden gems in modern numismatics, while earlier silver quarters from the 1930s to 1964 have long been recognized for their precious metal content and historical significance. Clad quarters from the 1980s are now gaining attention due to their sheer rarity and top grades and the potential for overlooked errors. The numismatic community has recently shifted its focus toward identifying high-value coins in circulation-era issues, and the 1988 D quarter fits perfectly into this trend. It's a coin that was once considered too modern or common to matter, but is now being reevaluated as a sleeper coin, especially by those who specialize in modern U.S. coinage. Adding to its collectability is the fact that the Washington Quarter series is one of the most iconic and enduring in American coinage. Collectors often seek to build complete date-handed mint mark sets of these quarters, which means that demand remains steady not just for rare early year issues, but also for later date rarities like the 1988 D, and unlike commemorative or bullion coins that were struck primarily for collectors. The 1988 D quarter was a true workhorse of commerce, used in daily transactions across the country, so finding pristine, untouched examples is extremely difficult. Coins that have never been circulated and still retain full luster, sharp strikes, and blemish-free surfaces are exceedingly rare and highly prized. When considering the $4,000 market value attached to some 1988 D quarters, it's essential to understand the role of third-party grading. A raw coin, meaning ungraded, will almost never achieve such high prices unless verified by a reputable grading service. The coin's authenticity grade and designations such as full strike or double die must be documented and encapsulated in a tamper-proof holder for the market to respond confidently with top-dollar bids. In fact, most auction records involving the 1988 DH quarter at $4,000 or more involve coins that have been graded MS67 or higher by PCGS or NGC with special attributes. The allure of the 1988 D quarter also lies in the thrill of discovery. Many coin collectors, both beginners and seasoned numismatists, still search through rolls of coins or inherited collections, hoping to find an overlooked treasure. The idea that a seemingly common 1988 quarter could be worth thousands fuels interest in coin roll hunting, metal detecting, and estate sale scouting. It's a prime example of how knowledge and attention to detail can yield significant financial rewards in the hobby. Finally, the 1988 D Washington quarter dollar represents the intersection of history, art, and monetary evolution. Its classical design connects us to the foundational ideals of the United States, while its modern minting processes reflect technological advancements and the changing face of American currency. Despite being a clad coin without any silver content, its growing value in the numismatic world proves that rarity, condition, and collector demand often outweigh the intrinsic metal value. Whether you're a new collector looking for exciting finds or an experienced numismatist investing in top-grade specimens, the 1988 D quarter is one coin that should not be overlooked. Next up, 1982 No Mint Mark Quarter Dollar. A $7,000 hidden gem in your pocket changed the 1982 No Mint Mark Washington Quarter Dollar is one of the most intriguing modern coin rarities ever to capture the attention of collectors and numismatists. At first glance, it appears to be just another common quarter from the early 1980s, but look closer, and you may discover a numismatic treasure worth up to $7,000 in today's market. With a fascinating history, minting error origins, and growing collector demand, this coin has become one of the most sought-after pieces in circulation. In this comprehensive guide, we will explore everything about the 1982 No Mint Mark Quarter, including its origin, features, grading importance, and why its market value continues to rise. The story of the 1982 no mint mark quarter begins with a major shift at the U.S. Mint. In the early 1980s, the Mint was dealing with a coin production crisis, inflation, and rising costs of materials, and labor had significantly impacted operations. In 1982, the Mint decided not to produce traditional mint sets for collectors. That decision inadvertently caused certain varieties of coins struck that year to become far more collectible over time. One such coin is the 1982 Washington quarter without a mint mark, specifically from the Philadelphia Mint, which typically used no mint mark during that time. However, what sets the 1982 no mint mark quarter apart is not simply the absence of the mint mark, which was normal for Philadelphia coins, but rather its unusual characteristics: quality inconsistencies and rarity in pristine condition. During this period, the Mint was experimenting with new minting processes and die preparation methods, resulting in some quarters being struck with weak or missing design elements. As a result, sharp, high-grade examples became extremely rare. Today, examples in MS66 to MS68 condition are considered ultra-rare and can fetch up to $7,000 or more at auctions. Most 1982 quarters were heavily circulated, making high-grade uncirculated specimens extremely hard to come by. Since the U.S. Mint did not release mint sets in 1982, collectors were left to search circulation or roll hunt in bank-wrapped coin rolls. This makes the 1982 no mint mark quarter one of the few modern coins that is both circulated and valuable, a rare combination. Most modern coins gain value only when uncirculated and stored carefully, but this one bucks the trend due to its scarcity and quality condition. In terms of design, the 1982 Washington quarter features the classic bust of George Washington on the obverse, designed by John Flanagan. The reverse depicts a heraldic eagle with outstretched wings, perched on a bundle of arrows and framed by olive branches. The absence of a mint mark beneath the bust, combined with excellent strike quality and full details, marks a potentially valuable variety. Most lower-grade 1982 no-mint quarters are worth face value or a small premium, but the value climbs rapidly. With better grading and eye appeal, the condition of the coin is key. Grading services like NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, and PCGS Professional Coin Grading Service have certified only a small number of these quarters in mint state 66 and above, with even fewer in MS67 and MS68. These top-grade examples are the ones that fetch thousands of dollars. According to auction records, 1982 no-mint mark quarters in MS67 condition have sold for between $3,500 and $5,500, and those reaching MS68 have achieved $6,500 to $7,000 depending on the buyer demand, eye appeal, and luster. Another factor contributing to this coin's rarity and desirability is the transition from copper to copper-nickel planchets and the inconsistency in strike pressure during 1982. This year was transitional in several respects for the Mint, including changes in die maintenance and metal compositions. These experimental variations make coins from this era more prone to striking issues, leading to collector interest in coins with strong, full designs. Sharp strikes, no weak spots, and bold rim details significantly boost the desirability of the 1982 no mint mark quarter. In addition, collectors often search for full strike FS or full detail varieties in quarters, especially the sharpness of Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. Coins with these features command premium prices. If your 1982 no mint mark quarter has no visible wear, clean surfaces, and luster with crisp detail on both the obverse and reverse, it's a good candidate for grading. Submitting the coin to a professional grading service could unlock its full value potential. As for market dynamics, coin collectors today are increasingly interested in low mintage, condition rare coins, especially those from the modern era post-1965 that defy the notion of junk change. With coin collecting gaining popularity on platforms like YouTube and TikTok, coins like the 1982 quarter are being discovered by new generations of collectors. Social media has amplified the demand, causing prices to rise even further, especially for coins that were once overlooked. If you are lucky enough to have a 1982 no-mint mark quarter in exceptional condition, don't spend it. Instead, examine it carefully under magnification. Look for a strong strike, minimal scratches, and clean fields. If it appears uncirculated, it could be worth sending it to PCGS or NGC for authentication and grading. Getting your coins slabbed by a professional service can dramatically increase buyer confidence in your coin's value in the marketplace. In conclusion, the 1982 no-mint mark Washington quarter dollar is a fascinating example of how a common coin can become a modern rarity. Thanks to the U.S. Mint's production decisions in 1982, the absence of collector mint sets, and the limited number of surviving high-grade examples, this coin has grown in value and prestige. Collectors now scramble to find mint-state examples, especially those with full strike details and flawless surfaces. With auction prices reaching up to $7,000. It's clear this quarter is no ordinary change. It's a hidden gem that could be hiding in plain sight. Keep your eyes open, because one small coin from 1982 might just make you a few $1,000s richer. Next up, the 1875 trade dollar stands as a remarkable chapter in U.S. numismatic history. A silver coin not only crafted with beauty and precision, but also shaped by complex international trade dynamics and economic necessity. Originally intended to compete with other large silver coins in commerce with Asia, the 1875 trade dollar is now a sought-after collector's item. It's valued at $1,000 or more, depending on its condition, mint mark, and unique characteristics. While many coins from the 19th century have faded into obscurity, the 1875 trade dollar continues to capture the imagination of coin collectors, historians, and investors alike due to its distinctive backstory, exceptional design, and limited mintage. In this detailed exploration, we'll delve into every aspect of the 1875 trade dollar: its origin, physical details, varieties, grading, rarity, and market value, giving you a complete picture of why this coin is such a valuable gem in the world of numismatics. The trade dollar was born out of necessity during the early 1870s, when the United States sought to expand its influence in overseas trade, particularly with China. At that time, merchants in Asia favored large silver coins like the Mexican 8 reals and Spanish dollars. The U.S. Mint responded by creating the trade dollar, silver coin containing slightly more silver than a standard U.S. dollar, specifically designed to compete in the foreign trade markets. Congress authorized its production with the Coinage Act of 1873, and the coin began production that same year. By 1875, the trade dollar had become a prominent tool of economic diplomacy, but it also began to face challenges that would shape its future in eventual rarity. The 1875 trade dollar was struck at 3 mints: Philadelphia, no mint mark; San Francisco, S mint mark; and Carson City, CC mint mark. Each of these mints played a role in producing coins that would serve in both domestic and international circulation. The Philadelphia issues were struck mainly for collectors and diplomatic purposes, while the San Francisco and Carson City mints focused on producing quantities for export to the East. Among these, the Carson City minted 1875 trade dollar is one of the most desirable today. Due to its relatively low mintage and the cachet that always surrounds CC mint coins, even common 1875 trade dollars in circulated condition can command $300 to $500, while well-preserved examples, especially those with mint marks and graded by top services like PCGS or NGC, can reach values of $1,000 or more. Physically, the 1875 trade dollar is a striking example of 19th century U.S. coin artistry. It features Liberty seated on a bale of merchandise, extending an olive branch with one hand and pointing toward the sea with the other. The imagery powerfully symbolizes peace, trade, prosperity, a reflection of America's ambition to play a larger role on the world economic stage. The reverse of the coin showcases an American eagle with outstretched wings, clutching arrows and an olive branch, a motif of strength and diplomacy. Above the eagle, the words United States of America are inscribed, and below it, the Denomination reads, trade dollar. Uniquely, the reverse also bears the inscription 420 grains, 900 fine, indicating its precise silver content. This level of detail was intended to assure international merchants of the coin's authenticity and weight. One important and often overlooked detail is the issue of counterstamps and chop marks. Since many 1875 trade dollars were shipped to Asia, they were tested for authenticity by Chinese merchants who applied chop marks, small stamps or punches on the coin's surface. While such marks might seem to damage a coin's appeal, they actually increase the coin's historical value for many collectors, as they tell a fascinating story of global commerce and trust. A trade dollar with genuine chop marks may still fetch hundreds of dollars, especially if it remains in otherwise good condition and carries a rare mint mark like CC. Grading is another critical factor when determining the market value of an 1875 trade dollar. Coins in very fine VF or extremely fine XF condition will typically range from $500 to $800, while those in about uncirculated O or mint state MS condition can cross the $1,000 mark with ease. Coins graded MS63 or MS64 by PCGS or NGC may even command values of $2,000 to $3,000, depending on eye appeal, luster, and strike sharpness. Proof strikes from Philadelphia, if discovered, can command significantly higher premiums due to their rarity and pristine finish. Varieties also add value and intrigue to the 1875 trade dollar. The most well-known include the Type 1, Type 2 reverse, variations that relate to subtle differences in the design elements of the eagle's feathers and arrowheads. These differences occurred as dies were modified during the minting process, and collectors prize these transitional varieties, especially when clearly visible. Even more compelling are known errors or overstrikes, such as double dies, misaligned dies, and planchette anomalies. While rare, these varieties can turn a $1,000 trade dollar into a $5,000 collector's prize, depending on the nature of the error and the interest it generates among specialized collectors. In today's market, the 1875 trade dollar is gaining popularity not only for its intrinsic silver content, but also for its historical appeal and scarcity. With only a few 100,000 struck across all three mints and many melted down, exported, or lost over time, surviving specimens are becoming more difficult to find. Auction results consistently show strong demand for this coin, especially when presented in certified holders with clear attribution of grade and variety. Coin dealers and online platforms such as Heritage Auctions, Stax Bowers, and Great Collections have seen bidding wars for top-quality 1875 trade dollars, and the value has remained resilient even as silver spot prices fluctuate. For new collectors, the 1875 trade dollar represents a perfect blend of history, art, and investment. It is not just a piece of old silver, it's a piece of American ambition. Minted at a time when the United States was stretching its commercial reach across the Pacific Ocean. Holding one of these coins feels like holding a direct link to the past, a tangible artifact of trade, diplomacy, and the global expansion of currency. Whether you're a collector who values rarity, an investor seeking long-term appreciation, or a history enthusiast intrigued by America's 19th century growth, the 1875 trade dollar is an iconic coin worthy of your attention and admiration. In conclusion, the 1875 trade dollar is far more than a monetary artifact. It's a rare, high-value coin that tells a complex story of international trade, minting excellence, and American economic ambition. With a market value that easily reaches $1,000 or more depending on condition, mint mark, and other factors, this coin continues to be a highlight in auctions and private collections. Its beautiful design, rich history, and growing scarcity make it a shining example of how a single coin can encapsulate an era. Whether you're discovering the trade dollar for the first time or have been searching for a high-grade example to complete your collection, the 1875 trade dollar remains one of the most impressive and valuable silver coins in U.S. history.